what you're gonna need for this headband, it's gonna be some yarn and a hook, of course. I'm using a 4mm today and some medium weight yarn. You're also gonna need scissors, some embroidery or yarn needles. I'm gonna be using these to sew in the tail ends of the final project. If you don't have these or you don't like using them, you can also use some glue to kind of hide the tail ends. I'm actually gonna be using both in today's project. So for this project, you're gonna need to know single crochet, half double crochet, treble or triple crochet, and slip stitch. So even if you don't know those, it's okay. They're pretty simple stitches and we'll go over them as we move along. But to start, I'm just gonna make a knot and start off with a chain of 22. So yarn over, pull through. It's 1 chain, 2, 3, 4, 5. Keep in mind, I'm making this for a 12-inch doll, so you can size up or size down depending on how big the doll is. Now, the next row, we're gonna do 21 half double crochet. So, yarn over, and in the second chain from the hook, we're gonna insert, yarn over and pull through. So now there are 3 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through all 3. So that's our half double crochet, and we're going to do that all along till the end of the chain, ending in 21. So that's the second stitch. 3, 4, all right. So now we have a row of 21 half double crochet. Now we're going to chain and turn. So just chain and then flip it. And then now we're going to be doing 8 half double crochet. So just 8 of them, and then we're going to stop and start our first bunny ear. So once again, yarn over, insert into the first of the chain, pull through the 3 loops, and we're going to do 8 of those. 2, 3, 4. Alright, so now that we've done our 8, we're going to make the first bunny ear. And so to do this, I'm going to chain 8. So now we have our chain of 8, and we're going to start by doing 2 treble crochet in this 7 stitch or the second stitch from the hook. And to do that treble crochet, going to yarn over twice before entering the stitch, then go into that stitch, yarn over, pull through. So we now have 4 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through the first 2. So now we have 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, once again, pull through the first 2, leaving us with 2, and then our last yarn over, pull through. So that was 1 treble crochet, and then we're going to do that again in the same stitch. So I yarned over twice. It's kind of tricky to see, but go into that same stitch, yarn over, pull through the first two, again, last time. All right, so now there should be 6 stitches on the chain, and we're going to do 3 double crochet in the next 3 stitches. So yarn over, enter the next stitch, pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the last 2 loops. So there's 1 double crochet. All right, now we're going into the next stitch. All right, last double crochet in the next stitch. And then we have 3 stitches left on the chain, and you can put a half double crochet in those remaining stitches. So 3 half double crochet. All right, so that's our first bunny ear, and to connect it back to the headband, we're going to slip stitch into this into that 8th stitch that we started from. Just insert the hook in that stitch, pull through the loop, so and kind of pull it taut. So now it's connected, and then we're going to do 5 half double crochet. One, all right, so we have 5 stitches now, and we're going to do the second ear. So it's going to be the exact same thing as this ear. We chain 8, in the second stitch from the hook, we're going to do 2 treble crochet. Now we're going to do 3 double crochet. Now 3 half double crochet. And now that we're coming to the end, we're going to slip stitch into this one that we started in. So insert your hook, pull through both loops. All right, and now we're going to finish this remaining line. It should be 8 more half double crochet. All right, now that we're at the end of this row, I'm going to chain 1, turn, and we're just going to do 8 single crochet. So not half double crochet anymore, we're just doing single crochet. So go through that second from the hook stitch, single crochet, we're going to do 8 of those. Now once I've done 8 of those and I've gotten to the ear, I'm just going to chain 2, skip over the ear, and go into this next stitch and single crochet 5. Alright, so we did those 5, and now we're just going to chain 2 again to go over that ear, and then in the remaining stitches we're going to do 8 single crochet. So now we've basically finished the headband, and we're going to fasten off. Fasten it off, and then the way this is going to be positioned is that single crochet is going to be facing us, and whatever position you like the bunny ears in, you can kind of puff them out by turning the top inside out and flattening it. There you go. And then for the tassels, you can use ribbon or something cute like that. If you don't have ribbon, you can just make some chains for it. So for each tassel, I'm going to chain 32, 3, and this is so I can tie them in a bow once they're around her chin. If you want them to be shorter and you like the look of them kind of just sitting there instead of kind of flowing down, then you can go ahead and make these shorter, maybe like 16 instead of 32. But I want to tie them in a bow. And then once we get to the end, I'm just gonna, fasten off and pull that knot really tight. So, yeah, pretty tight, and then cut off the excess just until it looks cute. You could even put like beads on it or something like that, kind of customize it how you like. So I'm just going to make another one of these, and then we will attach them to the headband. Now the first thing we want to do is kind of hide these tails. So I'm just going to sew them, kind of weave them in and out through the headband. So this is going to be the part that's resting on the head, so we won't see it. So make sure that the end comes out on this side. So now that I've gotten this kind of up to a good spot, I'm going to do the same with this tail, and then once they come close to each other, I'm just going to tie them in a knot. So now I kind of weaved in some of the ends. I'm just going to tie these two in a knot and make sure that this is on the side that's going to be facing downwards. So I tie them in a knot, not too tight. And then we're going to cut off these tail ends. And then we're basically going to do something similar by weaving in these tails on the tassels. And to get them in the center of here, I'm going to pull through the middle and go around the stitch. And then we're going to tie a knot. So now it's attached. And then basically weave in the ends. I like to make sure it's really weaved in along the end of the headband because you don't want it to break when you're actually tying it around their head. Now, to kind of hide this tail end, I like to actually glue the remaining yarn kind of against the bottom. You don't have to do this because some people don't like using glue, but I think it's just kind of helpful to just a little bit. That way it'll stay flat. Against the head. Now we're going to repeat the other tassel on the other side. Okay, so here is now the finished headband. And these chains, like I said, you can use like ribbon or something, cord to tie it. If you have a smaller doll, I would just recommend using the strand of yarn. So you can see I did this with a smaller doll, and I just used this straight yarn for her bow. I didn't make a chain or anything. And then with this one, you can also see I did 2 colors. So for that, I would just do the first 2 rows in one color, switch for the middle row and the ears, and then that last row of single crochet would be the first color. So it's pretty simple to change the colors around. And I just tied it under her chin. So let's put this on our Monster High doll and see how it fits. You can kind of bend the ears around too to make it look like one's flopped over. Hopefully you enjoyed making this and customizing it. I think it's a pretty easy way to add some more cuteness to your collection.